Welcome everyone to the next lesson in the microservice toll calculator chapter. And basically the previous lesson, we were a little bit trying to set up our Kafka shenanigans in Docker, and we failed a little bit. And that's because I basically had some kind of a wrong configured YAML file. I was looking into old projects and I saw this beautiful Docker Compose file here. And it's basically these shenanigans here that we needed to configure it a little bit better. Like I said before, knowing Docker is fine. Knowing Docker Compose, knowing how these things work is all fine. It's something you need to know, but it's not something that you need to master, right? Because if you work in these companies, like what I worked for in the past, basically you're gonna have a DevOps team, and the DevOps team is gonna take care of all these details, right? So, but it's good that you know that. So basically, the only thing we need to do is this Docker Compose file and then do Docker Compose up. And if you do a Docker PS here, you're going to see that our Kafka is running, right? So if we, let's close this file. Let's open up our receiver. This one, we are in receiver. So basically, we're going to have this receiver. And I think I also, did I do a consume? I don't think so. No, we didn't. That's fine. So if we basically run this thing, make receiver, right? It basically will work right now. That's the most important thing. So let's open up let's make OBU here, right? And then see what's going on. So you see now we're delivering messages to our queue, right? That's good news. So that's working, right? So what's happening is the OBU is basically sending us data, and we put it on a Kafka queue, right? That's the only thing we do. That's fine. So everything is set up. Yes. So the next step on the block, right? So we have our receiver here, right? And we basically, what we want to do is make it clean. So we want to have, later on, we want to have good logging. We want to have good instrumentation and all that stuff. And what a lot of people do here is they will go to produce data, right? And they will start doing logs here, log dot, I don't know, info or something, and they will start logging in here. And I think that's a bad idea, right? So what I want to do here, let me quickly check. Font is huge, and that's a little bit annoying for me to get a good overview on what's going on, right? But it's okay, it's fine. So this data receiver has a dependency, right? Very important. This data receiver has a dependency, a hard-coded dependency, and that's this Kafka producer, right? So I want to take that Kafka producer dependency out, right? And it's going to have a couple of benefits, right? So what I'm going to do is, let me see where I am here. I'm here, that's fine. I'm going to make a new file. I'm going to say producer.go. That's fine. I'm going to call this package main. And I'm going to say type, I'm going to say Kafka. Actually, to be honest, type data producer. Going to be a structure, and I'm going to say here, no, it's not going to be a structure, it's going to be an interface. Interface, and I'm going to say produce data. And that's going to be a types OBU data and an error, right? That's what we want here. And I'm going to actually say type Kafka producer. That's going to be a structure, right? I'm going to say that the producer itself here is going to be the Kafka.producer. Just like that, that's fine. And then I'm going to say func new. You can make it small, you can make it capitalized, doesn't really matter. Maybe if you want to export that, you could make it public. Kafka producer. Do we need something? Not quite sure. It's going to be a Kafka producer. And we're going to say that the producer, actually we're going to bootstrap that up. So let's main receiver is what I need. Yep. Let me copy some stuff out here. We're going to say this new Kafka producer thing. Do we need that? Maybe we won't. Let's copy the whole shebang, by the way. Let's paste it in here. Let's kill this screen. Why can I? How do I do this? New Kafka producer, that's fine. I'm gonna do these things. cannot save. Oh yeah, it's this shenanigans here, it's fine. We're gonna return an error here, of course. Just like this. Start another Go routine to check the data, that's fine. This is P, also good. We're gonna say that the producer is going to be P here. And the error is gonna be null, right? Okay. And then we're gonna make this a function because this Kafka producer is going to implement this interface, right? So we're gonna say here, func P is gonna be the Kafka producer. Producer is going to be produce data. Going to be the data is going to be a types.obu data, an error. All right, that's what we're going to do. Let's return nil here, to be honest, real quick. So now we're going to produce this data. So we're going to going back to our main function from receiver. And it's still early. You can probably hear it on my voice. My bad. Produce data, this thing. So we're going to copy in here, right? So what we're actually doing is extracting all the hardcore dependencies in our service. And we're going to extract that dependency, put that into our implementation of our interface. So we can swap that out, right? So if you want to test that, you don't need to have Kafka running all the time. Plus, you will see why, the most important thing, why we need this. So I'm going to paste this stuff in. This is going to be P producer, produce, that's fine. We can actually, to be honest, we can return this whole shebang here. Yeah. That's fine. Now we have our Kafka producer set up, I think. So if we go to receiver main, what we could do here is, instead of making this Kafka producer here, we could say that the producer is going to be a producer interface, right? A data producer, by the way. Data producer. Delete this Kafka producer. We don't need this. We're going to say that... Oh, what's going on here? We're going to say that P error is going to be a new Kafka producer. Don't need everything here. If R is null, we are going to return nil R. All right. These events, we don't need this because it's already been taken care of. And this is going to be P, that's fine. Produce data, that's also good. We don't need this. And we could do here, return dr prod.produce data with this data. Look at this, how beautiful that is. Delicious. A coffee. So we extracted this, right? So right now we have no Kafka, any Kafka dependency. The only dependency we have is this, is no dependency, is this interface. It's the data producer. Could be anything, right? It could be legit anything. So is this going to work? We don't know. Let's see. Make receiver. Oh la 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 la. Data receiver main 26. We have some problems. Let's see what's going on here. I don't see any issues. What's going on, actually, to be honest? Undefined data producer. Did I save this? 30. This is actually weird. I cannot actually see what's going on, to be honest. Let me see. Let me open up quick Vim here. Receiver main. Let's see if he can spot the error. Probably not. He also cannot spot the error, by the way. Crazy. Data receiver main.go. I'm in main.go, right? 26. Line 26 is this one. Data producers. main. Main. It's all fine. What's going on? I don't see any linting. I see a couple things here. Wait, let's close basically everything here. See what's going on. Sometimes it's annoying. Let's go back again. You see, these errors, they happen to everyone. Let's see. Receiver main. Don't see any problems, right? Undefined data producer. Do I have something wrong in my make file, to be honest? Receiver, we built this shenanigans, that's fine. Can I do main here? Can I just... I should be main, it's fine. I am actually... receiver... Huh. Returnal R is fine. New Kafka producer is fine. Right, if you go to new Kafka producer here, we are in here. Look at this. Wait, maybe it's the full-time types is fine. And main, let me check that. Wait, receiver main. Do we have the same types here? Okay, that's fine. Is it the way we built this or something? I think it's going to be the way we built this. I think it's going to be the way we built this thing that we are in trouble. So the problem is going to be this one. This build bin receiver data receiver main.go. I think we need to do something like build this whole package maybe. Can we do that? Now I'm actually choking. Wait, I think maybe you could do burn slash data receiver. Maybe it's that, something like that. Not quite sure. Let's see what's going on. It's not saving. It's something is wrong. Aha. Yeah, I see what's going on. So basically, guys, I need to tell you this. I thought, so the problem is if you're going to build this with main.go, it's going to build this main.go file singly. So basically what's going to happen is that if you have other files that's which are basically main depends on to import stuff, it's not going to work. So you need to build basically the whole folder like this. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, guys. Very important. All right, so that's out of the way. It's good that we actually came across this error because it can happen to you. It happened, and you see, even for me, it's like, huh, what the fuck is going on? And it's going for you be the exact same. And because I already experienced this, I could spot it very fast. But in your case, it could be that you're completely going bananas, right? Finding out what's going on. So good that we have that. That's why I don't like scripted shit. I like a lot of errors because seeing people go through pain will help you, right? So we're gonna, wait, I'm gonna do another thingy here. This is this is that. We're gonna say make receiver here, boom. And then make OBU here just to check if it's working. Boom, here. And let's see, okay, we are delivering, it's fine. We can directly close. Okay, cool. Now we're gonna do some cool shit. Very important stuff. What's going on here? Email. It's all fine. Let's go to receiver. Yes. So what we're going to do, right? So we want to basically do some logging, and we also later on want to do some instrumentation. How are we going to set up? How are we going to set that up? Because you could say we can do our logging in here and all that stuff, and I want to do a separation of concerns. I want to make my business logic completely separated from logging, from instrumentation, from the whole shebang, right? And it's a pattern that I'm always using, and it's basically the decorator pattern, right? And a lot of people will already know that. A lot of you guys will already know what it is. So that's why we actually need that interface. So what we're going to do is basically this, right? Look at that. So I'm going to make a new file here. I'm going to call this, for example, login. Or basically, we can call this... Yeah, let's call this login, it's fine. Or let's call it middleware. I'm going to call it middleware.go, right? Boom, just like that, right? Package main, because we're still in the main, right? Package main. And we're going to say type login middleware. It's going to be a structure, right? And this login middleware is going to implement, first of all, is going to implement, we're going to say L, and we're going to call this a logging middleware. It's going to implement this produce data, right? Produce data, which is going to take in data, which is a types.obu data. It's going to also return an error, right? And let's return nil here real quick. So what we're going to do is we're going to inject here in this logging middleware. We're going to inject another producer. We're going to say next is going to be a producer, just like that, right? Data producer, by the way. Data producer. I'm sometimes dyslexic on words for some reason. If I didn't, I try to do my best. Sometimes I practice on it, but I'm very dyslexic on words. So I know the word in my mind, but I cannot visualize myself how it's getting typed. It's annoying, especially English words sometimes. But hey, nobody's perfect, yo. All right, so we have this logging middleware here. Do we need to do it with a G? Yeah, I think so. Just like that. Or actually, to be honest, let's call this log middleware. That's maybe a little bit better. Just like that. So we have this data producer. We have this produce data. That's fine. We're going to also say a constructor. We're going to say new log middleware. Is going to return a log middleware here. So we're going to say return n log middleware. Next is going to be next, right? Going to be this one. Next should be constructed here, and that's going to be a data producer, just like that. Cool. So what's going to happen is I'm going to show you. So let's go to receiver main, right? And here we're making this Kafka producer, right? But what we're going to do is we're going to say var p is going to be a data producer, right? And now we're going to say p is going to be a new Kafka producer. We need to have an error also, that's annoying. So we're going to say p is this. R is going to be an error. We're going to say that p error is going to be this new Kafka producer. And now we're going to say that p... wait, that's going to be a problem. This Kafka producer needs to return a new Kafka producer. That's going to return basically a producer, a data producer. That's what's going to happen. So that's all going to be perfectly fine, right? Because here, guys, need to understand, a new Kafka producer will return a Kafka producer, but the Kafka producer is also a data producer because it's an interface, so we can return this interface. And we need that for this main here, data receiver, because if r is not null, just like that is fine. In this p, we're going to say that p is also a new log middleware, and we're going to put this p in, right? So this is a producer, or Kafka producer, which is a data producer. New log middleware is also a data producer and takes in another producer, and we are going to say that this producer is going to be this log middleware. Yeah, I know. Stick with this. It's very important because we're going to use this all the time. And if you know this, you know basically more than all Go developers from everywhere. Why is this important? Well, it's important for this, right? Let's go to producer here. To log middleware, by the way. Yes, all right. So what's going to happen here is each time here, what we're going to do is we're going to actually return l.next.produce data, and we put the data in here. So what's going to happen is that now we can do our logging here, right? We could say, for example, let's install a logger, right? What logger are we going to install? Logrus. There are a lot of good loggers out there. For example, Zap or something from Uber. But I'm always using loggers because I don't know. It's good. It's fine, man. It's structural logging. It's all fine. So go github.com and DM. No, not NTM. What I'm doing is cripsen logrus. Whoop. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna say logrus dot. Let's do an info. We're gonna say actually, to be honest, it's gonna be this. It's gonna be logrus with fields. It's gonna be this actually. Logrus dot fields. It's a little bit annoying, I know, but hey. What we could do is OBU ID is going to be data.obu ID. And we could actually log the lot out here. It's going to be data lot and also the long. Data long. All right, that's that. So we're going to log this out and we're going to say dot maybe debug or something or info. I don't know. Let's do info. We're going to say producing to Kafka. Something like that. Right? And then we're going to use this produce data. What we also could do is something cool. We could actually do this in an GoFunc. Just like this. Wait, it's going to be this. Yeah. You could say start. It's going to be time now. Is that true? Wait, I'm not quite sure. Took. Not quite sure if this is gonna work. It's basically gonna measure how long this function took, because this is gonna be a defer func, I think. Not go func, defer func, by the way. My bad. I'm gonna take a defer func. I think that's gonna be fine. Yeah. So what it's gonna do is basically it's gonna defer this function, so it's gonna return after this function, so we can measure how long this function took to produce it to Kafka. That's what we're gonna do. Let me see if it's gonna work. Wait, first of all, in this producer, I don't wanna these prints. I don't want to do that because it's gonna clutter everything up, right? We don't want that. Are there any things we... I don't think so. Make receiver. No variable left, yeah. Main. What is that? What the hell is this? Something is weird going on with my GoPLS, man. It's crazy. All right, so let's start the OBU. Make OBU. Boom. So now we're gonna see some login. You see this? So it's a little bit annoying because we have this Zoom thingy, but you could see that we received a message. That's what a logging from somewhere else. But now you could see that we have a logging here producing to Kafka. Latitude, longitude, and an OBU ID, and also how long it took, right? Beautiful logging. And we don't need to, if you go to this new Kafka producer here, the logging is not in here, right? The logging is not in this produce data. We don't see any logging. Where is the logging? It's in the middleware, right? It's in this produce data middleware. That's what the logging happens. And we're also going to have a metric middleware. And that's where the metrics will happen. So we have these separate layers. And inside of our receiver main, we are constructing these layers here. Right? New producer, a new log middleware. Later on, we are basically going to say a new, for example, a new metrics middleware, for example. Right? And all that stuff. That's what we're going to do. right? And then the onion, we put all the layers on top of that, and then we inject that into our data receiver, and we can change the implementation whenever we want, right? Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. So it's basically pushing that to... one more thing I want to do, basically, is this Kafka topic is hard-coded, and I don't like that. So I'm going to delete this Kafka topic, by the way. Let me go to producers. Going to error out here. Right, so we're going to have this Kafka topic. So I think what we're going to do here is if we make a new Kafka producer, let's say on what topic we're going to do that. It's going to be a string. Data producer, Kafka producer. We're going to say topic here. String. Fine. Yada, yada, yada. Topic. Topic is going to be the topic. Just like that. And then we're going to say np topic. Perfectly fine. Now we need to go back to main data receiver here because we need to put the topic in. And yeah. That's hard-coded right now here, but it's better to hard-code it here than hard-code it deeper into the stack, right? It's going to be OBU data, I think. Actually, to be honest, let's make a variable Kafka topic is going to be OBU data. I think it was something like that. Maybe it's small caps. I don't know. It doesn't really matter, to be honest, right? Kafka topic, right? Something like this. Going to be perfectly fine, right? So that's that. The next thing, what we're going to do, let's close all editors here. So now we have our data receiver. The next step we are going to do is basically, so we have our data receiver, OBU sending data to the data receiver, put it on Kafka. So now we need our calculator, I think, that we're going to make. And the calculator is going to calculate the distance. Yeah, we're going to make the calculator. So I'm going to make a new folder. I'm going to call this the distance calculator. Calculator. Yeah, that's fine. Distance calculator. Another service. New file. Main.go. Package main. Just like this. Delete this. Func main. Hop, fmt, println. This is working just fine. Boom, boom, boom. Save. Close this. Open up make file. Copy receiver, the whole shebang. Paste that in here. Call this calculator. Go build bin. Calculator. Data receiver is going to be distance calculator, and it's going to be, you're going to start that with calculator. Man. All right, it's going to work. Let's see. Clear. Make calculator. No rule. Something is wrong with the saving thing. Calculator. That's not what we want. Calculator. Calculator. This is working fine. So now we have our make file set up, and you can see a pattern here, right? You can see a nice pattern here. We're gonna have basically a not a mono repo, but actually a mono GitHub repo, and we're gonna all our services are gonna be all going to be living inside of this main, right? Data receiver with his main file, distance calculator with his main file, OBU with his main file, and all that stuff. So we can easily build them and also easily Dockerize them later on, right? All right, so that's that. Cool. Let's go back to this calculator main. So what do we need here? Well, we need type going to be distance. Actually, are we going to call this distance calculator? Why not? Distance calculator. Calculator. Going to be a structure. Just like that. And then we're going to give this a function. First of all, we need a consumer, right? So it's going to be actually the same pattern like we did in our producer, because this is going to be a consumer. We can call it like that. And then it's going to be a pointer to a Kafka consumer. But we don't want that because we want to abstract that. So that's going to be a data consumer, right? That's what we want. So let's open up a new folder in distance calculator, a new file, by the way. Let's make a new file. Let's call this consumer.go, fine. Package main. Type data consumer interface. Yeah. That's going to be consume data. And what is going to consume? That's a good question, actually. Wait, I don't think we want that. Consume. Do we want a data consumer like that? This is actually important. I just think about that because... wait, let that stick in for now. That's fine. Let's go back to main calculator and let's see. Let's do something simple. Actually, to be honest, let's make it super simple. We need a consumer. So I'm going to quickly look up this Confluenting. This thing here, right? I'm going to boost it a little bit up here. Where are these examples? Wait, I think there are examples here. This consumer, that's what we want. Produce. Consume. That's what you want. Copy this whole shebang. Let's paste it in. Boom. Kafka new consumer. This is Kafka 1. Guys, take care. This should be V2, I think. Or V2 here. Yeah, V2 there. That's fine. Group ID, my group. I think if we open up a producer here, we have another group ID, right? Or not? We actually don't set that. It's fine. Oh, my group. It's the same file. What am I doing? Idiot. All right. Auto offset earlier, so we're going to discuss that later on. It's basically where it needs to start. Consuming, panic here. Subscribe to my topics. And I'm thinking here, how does it actually work? So we have run. It's going to be consumer read message all the time. That's fine. So we're not going to make that an interface here. Well, I actually think what we could do, because here we're reading a message, and then we could actually call something like the thing, which is just a pseudocode, the thing.consumer.consume. It's going to consume, of course, data, which is going to be OBU data, right? Types.OBU data. That's what we're going to consume. Right? Just like that. So basically it means that we're going to abstract in an interface the way we fetch it from Kafka, but also the way it's going to get serialized. We don't need to care, or consuming stuff, we don't need to care about, is it JSON, is it protobuffer? The only thing we care about is OBU data. And the real implementation of how it's going to get to OBU data, where it's coming from, how it's serialized, we don't give a shit. That's important. That's basically making it... that's how you handle dependencies, right? Okay, cool. That's the plan. That's the angle. Let me see how much time on this video is left. This video is 33. I think it's super cool to shut down this video right now, and I can basically start the next video. So you have basically one episode of implementing, one series, one lesson of implementing that other stuff, right? Cool. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next lesson.